We'll talk about ratios and percentages first. The ratio means x by y or x is to y. These are two quantities. So ratio means, ratio is a means of comparing two quantities. A basket has two type of fruit, say 20 apples and 5 oranges. The ratio of number of oranges to the number of apple is 5 is to 2. So 5 oranges ratio with 20 apples. The comparison can be done like this. 5 by 20 is 5 fours are 20, 1 by 4. So you can say that the number of oranges are 1/4 of the number of apples. In the terms of ratio, you can just write 1 is to 4. This colon is spoken as is to. So 1 is to 4. You can also say that the number of apples to the number of oranges is 20 by 5, that is 4 by 1, which means the number of apples is 4 times the number of oranges. And this comparison can also be done using percentages. So there are 5 oranges out of 25 fruits, just say. So how many of these? 5 out of 25, so 5 by 25. This is simply 5 fours are 20, right? And you get this much. We are just making it as a percentage. So by unitary method, you can just say, for example, you have 25%, or you can say 25 fruits. The number of oranges are 5. So in all, if this is to be considered as 100%, what will be this percent? So we can just find it out like this. 5 means the total element multiplied by 100. So you get 20%. Both the cases 20% will come. And this basket contains, say, apple and oranges. So the percentage of apples plus the percentage of oranges, they are together 100. If we have found out that the number of oranges are 20%, so 20 plus, we can write 20 here, 20 plus percent of apple is equal to 100, which gives apples as, take 20 here, which is 80%. So you can say this basket has 20% of oranges and 80% of apples. A picnic is being planned in a school for, say, some class. Girls are 60% of the total number of students and are 18 in number. The picnic site is 54 km from the school. The transport company is charging at the rate of rupees 12 per kilometer. The total cost of refreshment will be this much, 4280. So what we have to find is the ratio of the number of girls to the number of boys in the school, right? So in order to find the ratio of the girls to boys, Ashima and John, they come up with different answers. Means say different ways or different techniques. The answer will be same, of course. So the ratio of the number of girls to the number of boys, girls are 60%. So 60% is how much? 18. 80 numbers. 60% is 18. So what will be 100%? 100% will be 18 by 60 into 100, right? So these are the number of total students. So when we find the number of total students, we subtract 18 from them, we get the number of boys. So we can just get the ratio. Then we have to find out the cost per head if 2 teachers are also going with the class. So in all, when we find total numbers, we'll add 2 more and then we see how much cost is there. And if their first stop is at 22 km from the school, what percentage of the total distance of 50 km is this? And what percentage of the distance is left to be covered? So for the first part, Ashima did something like this. She said, let the total number of students be x. So 60% of x are girls. So 60% of x is 18. So 60 by 100 of x is 18. So x can be found out. Take 100 in the numerator and 60 in the denominator. You get number of students as 30. Now John used the unitary method. She said 60 girls means 60% are girls. So 60 girls are out of 100. So one girl is out of 100 by 60. So 18 girls are out of how many students? 100 by 60 into 18. So this gets you 30. So when you got 30 as the total one, 18 is the girls. So just subtract 30 from, means 18 from 30, you get 12. So 12 are the number of boys. So 18 is to 12, that is 3 is to 2. This 6 to the 12, 6 3 is 18. 3 is to 2 or 3:2 is the ratio. To find the cost per person, the transportation charge, because 55 kilometer this way, 55 kilometer this way, so in all it will be 110, that is 55 by 55 into 2, 110, and the rate is 12. The rate is 12 kilometer, 12 per hour, 12 rupees per this much. This is 12 per kilometer, right? Rupees 12 per kilometer. So we just have to multiply this with 12. So you get 1320. Now what will be the total expense? The refreshment charge also and the transportation charge. Transportation charge is 1320. Refreshment is 54280. So the total cost is 5600. So total of number of persons now, because 18 girls are going, 12 boys and 2 teachers added. So 32% in all. So now again for next discussion, Ashima and John, they used unitary method to find the cost per head. For 32% amount spent would be 5600, like amount spent for 1%, what it will be 56 by 32, that is 175. And now the distance of place where first stop was made is 22 km. So what is the percentage of it? So 22 is the first distance, 50 means this is the distance, and 55 is the overall distance. So the element divided by the total distance means the required distance which is given, or the specified distance and total distance. The ratio is going to give you the percentage. So 22 by 55, if you take 40% is the distance. So actually she is multiplying the ratio by 100 and 100, which is 1, and converting it to percentage. In John's way, he said out of 55 km, 22 km are travelled. That is 1 km, out of 1 km, 22 by 55 is travelled. And out of 100 km, because we have to find out the percent, 22 by 55 into 100, these are travelled. So that is 40% of the total distance is travelled. So both of them has the same similar answer as 40%, right? So now what is left? Because 100%, 44% is the 22 km. So we just subtract this 40%, you get 60%. So 60% is less. You want to find out the how much is left. So subtract these two. So 33 km is left.